The day after my cam premiere, I realized something. Touching myself on cam had been totally fine, but I hadn't felt hot. It hadn't even felt comfortable, really, and it had been difficult to get out of my head. I wanted to make sure I felt cool, empowered, the next time I did it. I thought about Jonah. Maybe he could be useful. I pulled out my phone. Isa, when are you coming to town again? Jonah, Tuesday. Why? Isa, I have an idea. Jonah, question mark? Isa, have you ever shot porn? Shooting a couple porn videos could be the perfect way to get some practice getting off on camera. Plus, they'd be great to sell in my room, offer as prizes, or use as exclusive content for high tippers. Most of the top girls had dozens of videos they offered for sale on their profiles. I figured it was probably a good idea to get some of my own. Jonah was the ideal person to direct my porn. I wanted to impress him. This was my chance to show him I was going after my dreams, fully committed. Plus, I knew I could trust his taste. Jonah had made short films and directed commercials and music videos for work, and they looked good. Jonah always loved giving advice and validated himself through other people's successes when they followed his ideas. I would come to him for help, and he would know what to do. Jonah always knew what he was doing. Well, we'll need a cinematographer. Why can't you just shoot it? I suck at shooting. Okay. You're just gonna masturbate? Yes. I need to practice doing it in front of the camera. You masturbated in front of me all the time. Yeah, exactly, I replied. In front of you, not an audience. Jonah sighed. A day later, we began prepping for the shoot in the conference room at his friend's production company. Jonah had not only convinced them to let us hole up in their conference room to plan, but also to loan us the same type of red camera used to shoot The Hobbit and Iron Man. We met with our high school friend Ian, who was currently working as a photographer. It's just a half day? Just a half day. Jonah spun his chair around and then stopped himself with his foot on the edge of the table. Ian sucked in his cheeks and let out a breath. Where are we shooting again? The Flatiron. Room is booked already. I leaned forward across the conference table. It's going to be classy, Ian. Classy. Do they know we're shooting porn there? I told them it's test footage for a doc we're making. Jonah leaned back in his chair and crossed his hands on his belly, a self-satisfied grin plastered on his face. I thought about how appalled Lindsay, the concierge, would be if she found out. I don't know, guys. Ian seemed uncomfortable. I turned to him. Ian, I'm offering you $850 for a half day of work. You'll get to shoot on a red. It'll be fun. We offered it to you first because you're the best cinematographer we know, but... I glanced at Jonah. We know others. Ian turned his phone over and over in his hands. All right, what the hell? Let's make some porn. A few minutes later, the three of us drove downtown. We plotted over $15 cocktails and a cheese platter. Jonah went to get more drinks and remained at the bar, ordering bourbon and chatting with the pretty bartender. Ian sipped his drink. I still can't believe you guys talked me into this. I held eye contact, then looked down at his hands. I can. Oh? I looked back up at his eyes. Yeah, you're not happy. Ian let out a small laugh. What does that have to do with shooting porn for you guys? I twirled the straw in my ginger ale. You're bored and scared of selling out. You're doing what my dad did. Right, I forgot your dad's a director of photography too. Yep, he wanted to be an artist. He had hopes, dreams. I sucked on my straw. Now he shoots L'Oreal commercials and threatens to throw himself off the roof every other day. I don't shoot commercials. We both know that you do. I tapped on the table for emphasis. You've got a deep, dark hole in your heart, and you're not going to fill it up shooting concerts and bike races. But you already know that. I leaned back and smiled. Ian looked over at Jonah and shifted uncomfortably. Jonah was spinning his phone on the bar top, listening to whatever the bartender was saying. Ian looked back at me and tried to laugh. That's a bit condescending, isn't it? Sure, that doesn't mean it's not true, I sighed. We both know you're a genius, Ian. That's why I wanted you. That's why I want you... I looked at his hands again. To shoot me. To put your stamp on this. Creatively. Ian smiled awkwardly. I took his hands. Don't give up on yourself. We both know you're better than shooting concerts or commercials or even... I smirked. Porn.